live from Scrapbook Centrale. This is One Take Friday, and today I'm not going to use these hands. I'm going to borrow some other hands right here. I am borrowing Denise's hand this week because she is working currently on a project using KaiserCraft's Beyond the Page kits. And so we're going to show you how she's got a few tricks and techniques that she wants to share along the way. She's making this beautiful advent calendar. Yeah, it's an advent calendar. So we're going to head over to Denise's hands, and then afterwards I'm going to show you the ones that we have that we've already done in the store, and I believe Denise is responsible for most of them, so they're really nice. And then I'm going to show you also what we have from their product offering from this line. So all right, so what are you making?
I am making one of the KaiserCraft advent calendars.
Okay.
This is a picture of it right here.
All right.
These are wooden projects that come disassembled, completely flat, and you paint it and paper it to your liking, and then build it and glue it together.
Where are you at right now?
So I've already started prepping and painting a lot of the pieces. The wooden pieces are pretty much ready to go. Occasionally there's a little bump or two that you might need to sand off, but other than that they're good to go. So I just wipe them down. They're sometimes a little dusty, and then I start painting them. And you don't need to paint all the surfaces. You simply need to paint the surfaces that are not covered with paper.
Right. Do you have to use any specific paint for that?
I generally use acrylic paints. I've used several different brands. This time I am using Claudine Helmuth Studio Paint,
Right.
And I'm finding actually that it's covering very well, and the finish when it's done is wonderful. It's already a glossy kind of finish, so it's nice and
nice.
smooth. Yeah, so it's the first time I've used those for this, and they're covering very well, and the finish, like I said, it's really nice.
After you've covered your pieces with paint, what's next?
So then after you've done your painting, we move on to papering, and we're papering the surfaces that we want to look decorative and that are going to show a lot. I usually leave the edges, of course, unpapered, and underneath unpapered, but always painted, so it's sealed. And then I just paper the surfaces that are showing. The drawers also will get papered. You can see right now that they have been assembled. They come flat, but they've been assembled and are waiting to have paper put on them too.
Are they easy to assemble?
Very easy. They're already cut out in the right shape. You simply have to put glue on 2 edges in the front, 2 edges in the back, and then press them together for a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so that needs to dry. This one's been dry.
So why are you not coloring the 2 ends that I see there?
Because where these are sitting, I'm going to have paper on this portion.
I
so
see.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So there are some pieces that you can actually have to do both paper and painting.
And you could paint the whole thing if you wanted to,
Right.
and then paper over the portion.
But it's pointless.
But I gave it some thought beforehand, and so I'm not wasting my paint and paper.
So you just do the edges basically, and then you cover it.
Yeah, and I like to use this white PVA glue because it sticks very well.
Okay. So is this your own, is this something that we carry? Or?
The PVA glue, yes.
Yeah.
You can buy it in small containers here.
Okay,
at the
so you
store.
just have it in a big container like that because it's easier for you?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just going to hold this in place so I know where my paper is going.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Does that PVA glue dry fast?
Fairly
or-
quickly, and it's
Yeah.
very strong, so it holds things in place.
So it's good
Very
for
well.
paper to wood
Yes.
and it won't buckle, I see.
No.
Okay.
I don't leave the paper on the wooden tabs where they insert into the other pieces because it makes them too big and then they don't fit.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's that piece. after you finish papering and the glue is dry, something else that you need to do is start trimming out the holes where pieces go together. But you don't want to trim out all the holes, and that's something that you have to give some thought to and some planning before you do it. The reason you don't want to trim them all out is because some of this surface shows on top. The only ones you need to trim out are where a piece is going to go in from the top. If it's coming in from the bottom, you don't need to trim out the hole because that's the part you're going to see.
Right.
And you don't want to see just this nub standing up from the bottom. So you'll trim out just a few of them, and you can see I've trimmed out most of these already. So I have one trimmed out here, but the other one is left intact. And that's because the piece will sit in from the top, but this side it's going to come in from the bottom.
Okay.
Okay? You're better off just assembling beforehand. And
Like a mock-up assembly type of thing?
They do encourage you to put it together beforehand so that you can see where things go and to make sure everything fits together. It's pretty easy to follow the picture.
So Denise is going to put everything together now. So this is how you put it together, and Denise, you're saying that it's recommended obviously to put glue on the tabs
Yes.
when you put it together. So we just wanted to show you how easy it is. They come together, but obviously you would need to put
Glue as you
on.
go.
Yeah, glue as you go. For today for our One Take Friday. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and if you have any questions or comments, as usual, leave them in the section below, and I'll see you next week. Bye!